Good morning, Dr. Bill Williams here on the Influencers Podcast, coming to you live from Atlanta, Georgia. And today, again, we have another wonderful guest, Laura Donnelly, founder of Body Brain Balance. So I want to bring Laura right on. She's been eager to talk to you guys because she knows all about Influencers Podcast. Welcome to the show, Laura.
Hi, Dr.
How
Bill.
are you
Thank you.
doing?
I'm great. And it's so good to see you. And I'm so happy to be here.
Good.
Thank
With
you
that
for
background you got, color matches my influencer podcast background so well. Perfect choice.
it's this painting is magical. It matches every kind of clothing I have. A friend and former client made it for me, and it makes me happy every day.
It's perfect. Thank you for being here. So I want to really get right into it. Find out what you do and how did that happen? Who you're surrounded by? What inspired you to be a body brain balance coach?
I was a dancer first, performing in New York, doing ballet and modern dance, concert dance, and a friend, uh, also a former dancer, she said, "You have to learn about the Alexander technique." And she dragged me to a class, and I started. It was before the internet, it was before podcasts, it was before the ease of international connection. And I mostly started studying for myself to improve my dancing. And immediately I realized how it affected everything in my life, made me healthy, had the ability to make me healthier and happier and less emotionally reactive. So I always did it for myself all through my career and taught workshops and things and thought, I'll do this later when I'm done dancing, when I'm through teaching dancing. And I got my dream job back in Kansas where I grew up. And I was at my alma mater and helping to build the program that launched me into the professional dance world. And I was I thought I was doing exactly what I was supposed to do, and the program collapsed. The the director zigged when she should have zagged, and she lost the major. I was the last person hired. So, last in, first out. And the same week, my mom went into hospice care. And so I really had to use these tools to take care of myself while I was taking care of my mother. And we had a beautiful 6 months together, not always easy, not always fun, but there was a lot of fun, a lot of joy, and definitely a lot of deep communication and healing and caring. And after she passed away, I was like, whoa, I guess now is that later I was waiting for. And so I started teaching online, teaching in person, and and truly, this is my dream job. I was a little confused before about what was my dream job.
Well, I am familiar with this Alexander technique, but I'm sure 99% of the people listening don't know what is the Alexander technique. So give us a little bit of an explanation of that, and then go into how that led to your transformation from a dance teacher to basically a body brain balance teacher.
Okay. The Alexander technique basically is paying attention to how you think and beginning to develop an understanding of how you think and what you think changes how you feel and how you act and how you are able to interact with the people you care about in the world. Um, it's a it's a lot of mental process, a lot of awareness and thinking. I like to say that it is mindfulness in action because you are paying attention. So this was great help to me as a dancer, eliminating stage fright. It helped me teaching to help my students not work too hard. The other thing I tell people is when you practice the Alexander technique yourself, you discover in yourself the right energy the right effort for every action, whether it's speaking or picking up a heavy box or even falling asleep. What is the right effort to fall asleep? Do you know when you need to get up, you need a good night's sleep and you can't sleep and your brain is going, that's too much effort. Telling yourself, I have to sleep, I have to sleep, I have to. No, 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 no. So this brings you back to yourself, to your center, and helps you calm down. And it helps me laugh at myself when I see how often I overdo with all good intentions, but I overdo.
Now, if people are affected by the mental status, the physical status, their body just not working the way they want, what causes these things? What are the three reasons people fail to succeed based on the Alexander principle?
Okay. Um, okay. Primarily going for the end result instead of staying present in the moment with the process. So this is kind of endemic in American culture for sure, that the end result is worth any cost. Like in running, racing, performing. If you get hurt, you just keep going, not paying attention to the fact that you might injure yourself worse. But you have to make that goal. You have to make that touchdown, whatever. And this happens in the corporate world, happens in school, academia. And so in the Alexander technique, we call that end gaining, and where the end is most important. And people are not present. They're thinking far out to what's happening. And they often, they're thinking far out to what they want to have happen. And they miss what's happening right now. So when you pay attention to anything, and what I say to people is ease anywhere is ease everywhere. And when I notice what's happening to myself and I come back, my voice calms down. I have more space. I feel like I have more time. And this influences what happens in the future.
So, with the Alexander technique, do you find that there's an internal motivation that changes?
Definitely. I was able to, I was like a terrible. I was an excellent perfectionist in my life. And ballet is attracts people who want to be perfect. And this work helped me to understand that the really important thing is, no matter what I'm doing right now, how does that change my internal state? Am I getting more tense like this? And when I get tense, you can hear my voice go, eh, or am I getting more easy? Yeah. And I know you're a dentist too. And this works really wonderfully for people to calm down their nervous system in the dental chair. So you just come back and you're like, oh, I can be in a challenging situation, but I don't have to become the challenging situation. And that kind of freedom, that for me was a huge internal motivator. My company's motto would be ease anywhere is ease everywhere.
I like it. That's good. Yeah, as we go through the lightning round, these are going to be really interesting to our audience. What would be the success secrets that the Alexander technique models?
Well, the primary one, oh, well, I don't, okay, success secrets. Okay. So my approach is that everything that happens to us is healing in some way. Even the yucky things that happen, and there's plenty of them in the world. But if I pay attention, if I come back to myself and I say, I tripped on the sidewalk bringing my groceries in and I broke all my eggs, I could be really mad the rest of the day. Or I could, my knee could hurt and I could be angry at my body for tripping. Or I can come back to myself and say, on many levels, what was going on? Was I ahead of myself, already in the house, putting the groceries away in my mind and not paying attention to where my feet were going? Did my body knock me down because I wasn't paying attention? And so that's a fun way to come back to the present. Now, my ideal client, I love these kind of people. They are usually smart, multi-talented, uh, probably gifted, but maybe not recognized in school as gifted. Um, they are very empathetic and caring. And what do? They're serious people. And usually what's happened is they've tried many things to solve problems in their lives. And they're very frustrated because something might work for a little bit and then it doesn't work. And so uh, I find my ideal clients in a variety of ways. Like this podcast is a great way to meet new people who are at this place where they say, I know there has to be a solution somewhere. How is it that I can't find it? And I'm the person who says there is a solution and you have found it. And it's both simpler and more challenging than you imagined it would be.
There's got to be something that you can say, this is exactly right for you. What would be some of those well-defined products and services?
The I have several things that I offer with people. Some is a one-to-one work because they can explore some of the kind of inside ideas like perfectionism and things that have gone on for a long time. But I also teach in a class because in a class, people's energy helps each other, and also seeing sometimes when you make small incremental steps that lead to a good end, you don't recognize them in yourself. But the people in your class who watch you, they see it in your body, they see it in your expression, they see it in what you choose to talk about and share. And so that reaffirmation from each other and supporting each other really helps people to grow and change. I have a couple of classes that people can take, very simple classes to get the basics down online, so that if somebody wants to just touch in and see, what is this? Will it really help me? They can do that on their own without having to make a huge commitment.
How do you deliver a five-star client experience in these classes?
This is the key. The process, this is a kind of another motto, is magnanimous selfishness. And we have been trained to think selfishness is bad. But in truth, if I take care of myself right here, right now, I share with you and everybody watching that this is possible for them to take care of themselves. And so it really has a ripple effect in the world, but it always comes back to me. And so for people who are very caring and helpful, a lot of times they go out of themselves like this, that I want to help you. I know this, I have these tools, I have this, and I'm like, and I catch myself, I do it sometimes because I'm so excited. I get excited, and I say, wait, I want to say, I have these tools. If these are right for you, take one and try it. And that's how I am able to share the work with people and give them the freedom to do it or not do it. A lot of times people feel like, I have to do this, I have to do that, I need to lose 50 pounds. And this it's actually kind of a self-abusive learning. I mean, learning is great, but there's a way that people do it that presses them down. And what I do
is a vibrational experience that you actually can pass on to other people, and you have that experience, and then you can convert people to the brand ambassador concept of supporting the concept of health and balance. And
And
That's,
the best way I can share how I do this is I encourage people to play with these ideas, play with them in your life. And I had a beautiful student, and she had a son who was very, very sensitive, maybe on the spectrum of gifted and very, he got upset really easily, and he would just have these meltdowns. And she came to me saying, I want to know how to help him better. And what she learned is that when she took care of herself, or like if he was having a meltdown, couldn't find his Legos, instead of saying, well, let's just calm down, let's look, she would start to do the practice that I teach, which is a sitting practice, very simple, takes about 2 minutes, just grounding your own self. And she would sit by him, do this for herself. And in 2 weeks of her first lesson, she called me and she said, I did this and my son calmed down in half the time. Just half the time of a normal meltdown. I didn't interfere. I didn't help him find his peace. I just was by him. So you're right. It is a kind of an energetic thing. And once people know it themselves, then what they're able to do is, with the most important people in their lives, they are able to offer that space and presence. And that's where the healing happens.
I like that. Tell me about yourself. What are you grateful for today?
Today, I'm grateful that the sun is shining where I live, and that you and I were able to finesse the tech gods to make them help us come together, because we had a little challenge at the beginning, and so I had a problem, you had a problem. It was just, but we got it. We just stayed calm. We kept doing one step after another, little small thing, and I'm grateful that you were willing to do that and had the time to
Yeah,
play with the tech.
for our audience, we had to restart our computers, both of us, sequentially because we couldn't get the tech gods on our side. Now we do, and you are here because of it. So
And
excellent,
so, and I'm grateful to be here with you and able to share this work with more people.
excellent. That's the goal: sharing with other people something that works. How do you start your day?
I get up, well, I wake up and I read a little bit. I have a few writers I follow whose work is inspiring to me, and I often write in response to something. It's almost conversational, in that they had this idea and this sparks ideas for me, and then I do some writing, and I have coffee. I I love coffee.
All right, coffee's good. How do you plan to achieve your goal, bringing the Alexander technique and your coaching about balance to the world?
I do it by sharing with people, talking to people on platforms like yours. That is, it's special, and it's focused on people helping people. And I just contact people I know, people I meet, and I engage and share, see if I can help them with something that they're working on, whether it's my work or not. If I can't help them, do I have a contact I can refer them to, so that I'm making relationships. That's how I do it. I do it through relationships.
And
How
how would
do
you feel if you didn't achieve this goal?
Oh, well, see, again, the most important thing is what happens to me when I try to achieve this goal. If I lose my balance because I have to meet with 10 people a day, I have to be on 15 podcasts this year, I'm not doing my work. The only way I can teach this work is by doing this work. And so if I start to uh, feel like, what if I don't make my goal? I'm like, wait, what is my goal? My goal is to see what happens to me when I worry about not making my goal, and to trust that if I do the work, it will help people. And when it helps people, they will tell friends, they will tell other people, and it won't grow mega fast. Like everybody says things grow on the internet mega fast. This really grows person to person. And so I just keep dropping my pebbles in the water.
Seems to me that's very familiar. The be here now concept that was Werner Erhardt's thing in S program says you need to be in the present, and that's where things start. So it seems that if you have to overcome a challenge, that's where you start. Be here now.
Right. And notice what's happening. And the piece that comes from all of my dance training and studies is, how is my body giving me information? How is it telling me what's happening? Again, like if my voice gets high, and if I do it, yeah, here we go. Here I can do it. I can make it tight. Right. Well, I made my thigh tight. What I did was I make my thigh tight, and then my voice gets tight, because just because this ease anywhere is ease everywhere, tension anywhere is tension everywhere.
Tension anywhere is tension everywhere. I like that.
Yeah, because we can feel the tension much more easily and quickly than we can feel the things that are going good. I don't know why. That's why I appreciated your gratitude question. Starting with gratitude shifts us. So, what would I tell my 20-year-old self? That every single step on my path that's happening, the frustrations, the fear, the good things, the achieving my goal before I even thought I could, which was to get in a dance company and tour to Europe. All of these things are part of the path to giving me the information I know to communicate with many different kinds of people about many different kinds of situations. So,
How do you do mentor? Do you have somebody now that you follow?
yes, I do. Is my dear friend. He's a composer. We worked together when I was a dancer, and he was composing music for dance. And he is the person who first taught me the Alexander technique. His name is
Oh,
Mio Morales. And my heavens, we have known each other many years. I was probably 28 when I met him. And the impact of, okay, this is important, and it's part of the whole thing, is that having someone who understands the power of this work and can see it and remind you how it is changing your life, that gives me the courage to keep going, even when it's really hard. So like, even when my mom was dying and I was dealing with grief, I would talk to him and he was like, okay, so what's happening to you? And I'm like, well, and he's like, come back to you. And then I would come back to me, and the grief would flow through. And instead of just pressing me to the ground, it would be there. My heart would hurt, but it would pass through. What do I want to be remembered for? I think that I would like to be remembered for providing a path for people to learn to take care of themselves, to learn not to be controlled by their emotions or swept away by their emotions. And for me, that's really freeing. And how to understand, oh yeah, this one's sad, but it's true, how little we can control of the external world. And so then then we can do the fun things. We are free because what we control is ourselves. And so for supporting me, actually, is to start taking care of yourself. And the first way to do that is I have a very short little video at dancingwithease.com, Move Out of Pain. And by taking the first steps to move yourself out of pain, that would really be supporting me, because it moves you into the powerful place of taking the decision to understand that you can do something about what's going on in your lives. Then I have a YouTube channel, which I would love you to subscribe to, which is At Ease TV.
what's that again?
At Ease, AT-Ease TV. So it's like Alexander Technique, the ease of that, and on YouTube. So that is a fun thing. And my experience today, joyful, really joyful and fun. And thank you so much. And, anytime I can do something that would help you, I would be glad to, because this is how the world goes, one person to the next person to the next person.
Yeah, actually, the thing about the Influencers podcast is that, Laura, we want to share the good news, positive, exciting things with people that they might not run across. And when I saw that you were an expert in the Alexander Technique, something that I trained on back as early as 1980, I said, this got to be spread around. And so I want you to have the final word, speak to our audience about what's important, and we'll close it out with your words.
Thank you very much, Dr. Bill. So the final words is, how you think determines how you feel and what you do. You can pause at any time and choose not to react, so that you give yourself the time to choose how you will respond in the world, both physically, mentally, and emotionally. So,
All right, wonderful words from Laura Donnelly. And I feel balanced, I feel energetic, and I'm ready to move on to what's coming the rest of today. This is going to be a great start, and I hope all of you guys have enjoyed meeting Laura, and I hope you'll look her up on YouTube and get to be a part of her life, and she can be a part of your life. This is Dr. Bill Williams on the Influencer Podcast. Stay tuned for more coming up from Atlanta, Georgia on the Influencers Podcast.